morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with Snom. Today's host is Corey Cather. He is their Regional Account Manager, and he'll be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and I'll ask them of Corey at the end of today's presentation. Corey, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate your time. Let's go ahead and get started.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, I wanted to kind of go through some of our Snom advantages and how to successfully sell Snom and position Snom and some of the great things we have going on now as well. We'll go through our desk phones and then touch on some of our mobility products and of course conference phones as well. So thank you again for having us. We'll touch on a few basic things, but I know some of the primary benefits or advantages of Snom really are that we have end-to-end SIP-based solutions. So in other words, we go from design, manufacturing, distribution. We actually have our own in-house manufacturing as well. So Snom was purchased by DECT in 2016. So because of that, we've actually got the full gamut of design in Berlin and manufacturing in Hong Kong. So we've got everything covered pretty well. We've got a broad line of products, which includes the desk phones, DECT phones, but also broadcast in our PA1 and our conference phones. And we offer a lot of DECT or mobility products, including in our conference phones, which we'll show you briefly here too. So one of the unique things about our products is they do have a 3-year warranty that is included with the purchase of the product. So it's at the regular price. The 3-year warranty comes with the desk phones, the DECT phones, the conference phones, and everything. And again, we have North American-based teams. So we have North American-based sales team, product team, marketing, even tech support. We have North American-based tech support that can help with phone calls or emails. You can reach them either way. And then we have our North American distribution. So our warehouse is based in San Antonio, Texas. So everything ships to our authorized distributors from there. So we'll go through the D700 series briefly. That's our desk phone series. We're going to start in reverse order here today. So our flagship, if you will, is the D785. So the D785 will handle up to 12 SIP accounts. What makes it unique is the dual display. I shouldn't say unique, but at least it makes it unique in the line. The dual display. So you've got a larger display on top, the color display, and then a secondary display down below. This helps kind of clean up your screen. So you've got your BLFs and your quick programmable keys down on the bottom right. So it keeps your screen clear, so you can actually see what's happening up there as far as any actions that are being handled on the call, like call transfer, conferencing, other things like that. So you've also got a dedicated headset key, a dedicated headset jack. This model also has integrated Bluetooth into the phone as well. And then all of these D700 series have a solid state hook switch, which if you've picked up one of the Snom handsets and put it down, it just feels good, it feels solid. But the solid state hook switch gives you improved reliability as well. All of the D700 series also have a USB port, and we will kind of touch on how that helps you as well. But the USB port has a couple functions. Obviously, one would be if you are using a headset that would need to tie to a dongle, but also we'll cover, it allows you to add a DECT expansion speakerphone that we make as well, which goes with our conference phones. So in the D735 is our mid-level piece, smaller screen. You actually get more BLFs, more programmable keys, if you will. The keys there, you get 32. That's scrolling through four pages. Same number of SIP accounts. You still have the same USB, and you have a dedicated headset key there as well. One thing I do want to also call out here is all of the desk sets came we had new pricing that we launched April 1st of earlier this year. We actually reduced the pricing on all of the desk phones, on all the D700 desk phones. And on top of that, we have them all in stock. So that's, I know, a big issue in some cases right now, but they're all on hand. They're ready to go. We have them in our warehouse ready to ship. And the D717 is our entry level into the D700 series. Again, you have the same functionality as far as the USB port. It will actually handle up to six SIP accounts, which, you know, for most folks that's enough. But it has 3 programmable keys. So if you're not using a lot, if users aren't using a lot of programmable keys, it's a great value piece. If they need more programmable keys, they're going to want to go to the 735 or the 785. It again has the same headset key and can handle the headset jack on the other side. All of these models can also support the D7 expansion module in up to 3 per unit. This is compatible with all the D700 series. We also have as a value piece like the D120, a little more simple, monochrome. It has 2 programmable function keys, and then it still has an RJ9 headset port. This we see a lot more going into, say, schools or other places like that where they're really trying to hit a more specific price point. You do not have the USB port and you do not have the ability to add in the expansion module. So it's a little more stripped down, but it's very simple, very effective. Again, this one's pulled out, so we kind of went backwards in the order. So hopefully that works. Tell you what the best phone has, and then go backwards from there, if you will. So here's some of the unique features that we have on the desk sets. We do have a Wi-Fi dongle for it, which the nice thing is this allows you to work really anywhere, right? So in tough spots where you can't get a drop, at home, if you're moving, you know, from your kitchen table to your bedroom, there is all the phones will obviously work with PoE, but there is a power supply you can get with it, so you can plug it into a normal outlet, and then the A210 is a Wi-Fi dongle. That would just simply go into the USB port on the side of the phone. The other thing you can do with that USB port is you can plug in a DECT dongle that would pair to our C52 conference phone. So here in my office, I very often will use the D785 with a DECT dongle and the C52. So hands-free, just talking into a speakerphone makes life a lot easier. I do use a headset. I'm using a headset now. But for the most part, day-to-day basis, I'm using the D785 and the C52. So it's kind of an executive speakerphone, if you will. You can make your conference phone or your desk phone an executive conference phone. So again, this would work with any of even the base model, even the D717. We do have our wired headsets that are Snom headsets. They're a good price point, again, effective. They are wired. They would plug right into any of the Snom desk phones. I will use these on occasion as well, but the sound quality is excellent. Obviously, if you want to go wireless, then there's other options out there, but for a good and expensive wired solution, the A100M and A100D are good solutions. Conference phones. So again, we have some unique features in here. I have just one slide to show. We won't spend too much time on this, but we've got we've added last year a DECT wireless conference phone. So if you see in the image here, we've always had the DECT wireless mics, and those are rechargeable. They charge right in the base. You can move them out throughout the room anywhere to help pick up voice throughout the room if you've got a big table, or you're just creating separation because you've got a couple of people in a conference room, and you obviously nowadays you want to keep them separated. You've got that flexibility with the wireless mics. Well, the C620 has a rechargeable battery in it that will communicate to the base, that the conference phone will communicate to the base, and it'll give you 24 hours of talk time, 12 hours in wideband. Hopefully nobody has a meeting that long. That would be quite painful, but it will last for quite a while. So the C620 is the truly wireless conference phone. There's a base that you charge on it, and you can walk around, put that conference phone anywhere in the room. You know, huddle rooms it's great for, but again, the wireless DECT wireless mics still come out, and you can still move those anywhere within the room. So C620 DECT wireless conference phone, C520 is the wired conference phone with DECT wireless mics, and then the C52 is, I'll skip to the next slide as we're talking. The C52 is a DECT expansion speakerphone. So it does not work as a conference phone on itself, but it will allow you to expand either the desk phones, as we noted earlier, or expand the conference phones, the C620 or the C520. You can handle up to 3 C52s with the wired conference phone with the C520, and it will handle up to 2 with the DECT wireless conference phone. So you can add 2 to the C620. So it allows you to scale for larger conferences, larger conference rooms. Again, it's probably less applied to the number of people nowadays, as that it also allows you to keep people separated and have the speakerphone, you know, throughout different parts of the room. So the speakerphone has a mic and a speaker in it, obviously, versus the wireless mics, which just have the mics themselves. So you can also speak and hear clearly from anywhere in the room. Or, for example, we have a huddle room right next to our conference room and in our office, and we're able to take one of these DECT wireless mics into that huddle room, which is right next door, and it still works very clearly with that conference phone as well. So one of our staples is also the PA1, and that will tie, again, it allows you to, it has a small amp, but it allows you to broadcast and announce in restaurants, in public spaces, in retail spaces, and things like that as well. So I'm going to go through here fairly quickly. One area where we've had our partners and sales teams focus a little more is on specific industries. Actually, with DECT and with other products that we have, our restaurant retail business has started to grow dramatically, as well as our healthcare industry. Excuse me. So I'll touch real quick on DECT. We have 2 solutions for DECT. One is a single cell solution and one is a multi-cell solution. We have our M900 base station, which handles up to, you can tie up to 1,000 base stations together for up to 30 handsets per base station. So if you have a large scale deployment, this will handle up to 4,000 handsets. Obviously this is a little more specialized in where you would roll it out to, but it can help you in 2 different ways. Either just a very large footprint where you need to expand and cover a larger area. The multiple bases will work as a multi-cell and allow you to cover a larger ground, as well as being able to handle multiple and more handsets. The handsets themselves are nice, compact, rugged handsets. We have the M70 as the base model. The M80 is a ruggedized version. And then we have our M90, which is an antibacterial DECT handset. So those are the 3 new models we have that'll tie to the M900. So multi-cell is, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically allows you to cover a larger ground by communicating with the bases. DECT will allow you to overcome more obstacles than some formats that are out there, say Wi-Fi or other things. So with having multi-cell, it allows you, again, to have a larger footprint and allow you to tie those phones together on the same system. So the M100 we have is a mobility and keyline emulation. This system here, we've actually been putting in a lot of restaurants and retail, a lot of small business. This system works as just a standard mobility DECT handset, but it also will allow you to use it in a keyline emulation mode. So they have line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4 on them. It'll allow you to just simply answer a call, put it on hold, and then have somebody else pick it up on line 2. So if you've got 4 phones, line 1, L1 would be blinking, it'll ring. You can put that on hold, and then you can go back and pick that up from any of the other phones. So if you've got 4 phones, line 1, L1 would be blinking, it'll ring. You can put that on hold, and then you can go back and pick that up from any of the other phones. If that line is busy, then the next call that comes in would blink on line 2, and same sort of thing would happen. So it really does work like an old-fashioned key line system, or you can just have each individual phone be its own dedicated number and work just like a normal SIP phone endpoint would. So you can use it either way, or even in a hybrid mode. Just to highlight how that KLE works, how it looks up close. You've got, again, green is where L1 will be blinking, and anybody that's tied to that base can pick up L1. So some of the advantages of this is it, like I said, in a retail or restaurant area, it'll allow you to have people just be able to pick up the phone and start using it. So quick access, little training, quickly be able to transfer calls. It's very simple and very easy to use. We've deployed this in multiple locations, but there's a large deployment of several hundred in a restaurant chain that they've been very happy with. Even the desk set, so they'll put the desk set on the front counter and then have the phones that can walk around. The desk set itself is also DECT. It has a power cord, but also has a rechargeable battery in it as well. So one of the other tools for you, and this is on all of the products, all of the phones, is there's a trade-in rebate program. This started last year. We just extended it, and it's going to go through July of 2022. There was a change to it. It says minimum of 5 phones, maximum of 200. I believe we are now at 3 phones. I'll verify that and get back to you, but I believe that the minimum now as of August is 3 phones. So what we're doing is we're offering a trade-in on any phone, Snom that's more than a year, but any phone of any competitor immediately, essentially. And it's a trade-in program that when you purchase phones, the end user themselves would fill in a rebate form online and be able to get a rebate back on their phones. So it really is a tool for you to be able to sell Snom over competitors and win more deals. So obviously the end user will save some money, but he's able to see a discount, he's able to see a savings, and then again, that will help you obviously earn more business and win more deals. All of them have it. Even the D120 has a $3 one, but that D785, which has been one of our flagship pieces, that has a $20 rebate on it. And again, you can have up to 200 phones. The conference phones have a $30 trade-in rebate program on them, and that's true of the C520 and the C620. And again, all of the handsets that we just covered. So any of the M100, any of the KLE series, and any of the M900 series, and then M90, M900 series. So we can also share our live support links or other links if you need to reach any of us. So the live support phone number is a tech support phone number that end users, that partners can call if they need help setting things up. Obviously, in the end user, a lot of times they're going to call their service provider, but they can also reach out to us as well. There's an email. We have the authorized distributor list. There's also a Snom service hub, which is where a lot of the answers to a lot of the questions will be answered. So it's kind of a wiki page, but there's a Snom service hub which will tell you in detail how all the manuals, have all the guides, have all the latest firmware updates. Everything would be listed in there. And then SRAPS is our provisioning server. It's our redirect server as well. So there you have it. We had, so Simon Bradbrook is our sales engineer. I am Corey Cather, the regional account manager. Simon Bradbrook was going to join us today. He had some technical issues, so unfortunately he was not able to join us. But he is a great resource as well. If we want to see if something will work in a certain instance, we can verify that. But he will work through a lot of the testing with us when we're working with service providers. We're both here in North America, so if you need to reach out to either one of us, we're happy to help. We're happy to answer by phone or by email. Either way works. So Julie, doing it by myself, I actually flew through that a little faster than I had planned, without Simon to banter off of. So if you have any questions, I think we can probably go to any questions if you have them at this point.
Thank you very much, Corey. That was fine. I appreciate it. It was a great presentation. Yes, I've got some questions for you. Let me read off the first one to you. First question here asks, are the desk phones touch screen?
They are not. They're display only. So there's no, obviously you have the buttons by the screen in some cases that'll highlight a specific feature in the case of the 735 or the 717. But the short answer is no, they're not touchscreens.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Next question here. You did talk about the warranty. So this question says, what are the warranty on the devices specifically for the LCD screens?
So they do still have that would be included in the 3-year. Now, if you're talking about what if you drop a boulder on it, well, that's probably not covered. However, the screen itself, the phone itself, is part of the phone that's covered under the manufacturer's warranty. So the phone itself will have a 3-year coverage. Again, if it's physical damage from what you'd call abuse or misuse or just simply dropping it or what have you, that's a different story. But the screen itself, yes, it's part of the full phone warranty.
Thank you very much. Next question here for you. Is the second port Ethernet switch PoE or passive?
So you're talking about the plugs in the back?
I believe so, yes.
So it should have, it is PoE. All the phones are PoE. But they should have the ability to, I'm trying to think of where this question is going. You can daisy chain and get PoE if that's what you're wondering. But all the phones are PoE, and you can hook a couple of them together and have PoE on that chain.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
If that doesn't answer the question, throw it back at me and let me know. But that should.
No problem. Okay, a few more questions for you. Next one here says, are your headsets specifically for Snom, or can someone use a different headset?
They're for anything. They come with the RJ9 cable, so it plugs right into, because the Snom phones have that. But there's adapters you can get. There's a USB adapter and a mini jack adapter you can get for it. So there are different adapters you can get to plug it into just even your PC, but it doesn't come with a USB adapter. But RJ9, and yes, to answer your question, you can use it with any phone, with any laptop, what have you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question here for you. Does the wireless mic on the wireless conference phone C620 have a built-in speaker on them as well?
No, just the mic. So that's the advantage of going to the C52. So the wireless mic is just, how to put it, so the other people on the other end will hear you better, but to be able to hear the people talking back to you correct, you would need to go to like the C6 or C52, take that and move that to the other end of the table. Then you've got a speaker and a mic.
Great, thank you very much. Next question here. You may have touched on this. This question says, how many hours of charge before having to recharge to completely wireless conference units?
So it's 12 hours of wideband, 24 hours of normal band, if you will. So you could, that could last as much as 24 hours. So should be able to last a couple of days. Let's hope you don't have a conference that goes 24 hours. If you do, you probably want to see what other options are out there.
Thank you so much. Couple more questions. Next one says, is there a specific physical distance where the wireless mic works on the conference phones?
No. How's that for my answer? It's very subjective. I mean, it could be as much as a couple hundred feet, but it might be 50 feet. So it depends on the environment, depends on a lot of things. It won't be quite as much as you would get from, say, the DECT solutions that are mobile handsets, but it will give you quite a range. And I mean, 50 feet easy, but it's hard to say. It really depends on your environment there. If you're in the same room, if you're trying to go through a few walls, or what you're trying to do there. But in the same room, it's a pretty big area as far as the mics go. When you get to the DECT C52 expansion speakerphone, it'll go a little bit further.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Corey, can you tell us a little bit about where Snom products are manufactured?
Sure. They're manufactured in so they're manufactured in China. VTech is based in Hong Kong, and we actually have a large manufacturing base. We actually make phones and a lot of products for a lot of different companies. So we do make our own stuff. Snom is based in Berlin. So a lot of the engineering, a lot of the firmware, software, a lot of stuff is done in Berlin. And then we also have an engineering team in Vancouver, Canada. So it's kind of a accumulation of those three areas that they build the phones. But the short answer is, as far as the manufacturing goes, that is done in China. And we do manufacture, again, a lot of different products, not only our own, but for a lot of other companies, and including some of our competitors. But we also do own Leapfrog and some of the other and Snom and some other companies as well that we manufacture for.
Excellent, Corey. Thank you so much for answering all those questions for us today. And thank you to everyone for attending. If anyone has any further questions, of course, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel. So if you'd like to view it again, you can do so on YouTube within the next day or so. Thank you, everybody. Corey, excellent presentation. Appreciate your time.
Everybody, thank you so much for having me, Julie.
You bet. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.